You know what I'm saying? To change this situation around. You know, we're in the streets doing the woo woo woo, but at the same time, you're not building your community. You're not doing anything for the community. But you sit there and say,
I'm saying we need to change the situation. We're out on the streets, doing all this and that, but at the same time, you're not building your community or doing anything for it. Yet, you sit there and say this.
Matter of fact, before they stopped it, I said every time I stopped.
Calvin Ford and Gervonta Tank Davis have parted ways after many decades of working together. Calvin Ford has explained that it wasn't surprising to see Tank's first draw come in a fight where Ford didn't have much time to train him during the camp. Calvin Ford holds much of the secret to Davis's success, having coached him since he was a young boy.
It just went that, he just, like you said, it was, we looked at 3 rounds. Brian was calling out, yo, I need 3.
In fact, there have been issues about Gervonta Davis not paying coach Calvin Ford, but Ford has come out to defend the situation, claiming that he and Davis are like father and son. He explained that while sons don't pay fathers, they give them whatever they need. Although they were able to resolve that dispute, the main issue remains Davis's disrespect toward Ford. Tank had never fought a match since the beginning of his career without Ford in his corner.
As someone that's had Tank since basically he was a pup and you've raised him as a boxer and a man, what would you like to see Tank do?
It happened for the first time last week, and the result was there for all to see. However, what was particularly striking were Tank's actions toward Calvin Ford, disrespecting his coach for no reason. During one of the latter rounds, when Davis was told to be more careful by Coach Calvin, he simply yelled, "Calvin, calm down and listen to me." This was seen as rude by many in the boxing community. One fan commented, "I pitied that man so much. Tank is so disrespectful and rude. He really can't do much without him."
You know what I'm saying? Tank does that, you know, to get an eyebrow out of people. Like, you know how the Rock, when he put the eyebrow up, and he did get it. That's just like when
Another fan placed themselves in Davis's shoes, saying, "If I had someone like Calvin Ford do for me what he did for Tank, I'd be forever grateful. He'd never lack anything in his life." One fan condemned Davis's actions, calling him an evil person, adding, "Tank is so wicked. I really can't be cool with someone like that. He's an ingrate." Despite all that Calvin did for him, he'd still come and say Calvin is his dad. Calvin Ford has now revealed the real issue behind their split in an interview where he was asked deep questions about the entire situation.
Oh, yeah, everything just happened.
Sorry.
Y'all get what I'm saying? And that's all I got to do.
Well, you truly can't just listen to one side of the story. However, if everything that's been said is true, Gervonta Davis must be something entirely different from the amazing boxer I thought he was. Calvin Ford went on to talk about the issues between them and the sacrifices he made for Davis. He's been with him, fulfilling his wish of watching over him throughout his career.
And I'm like, okay, I
Why would he like him? Why would he like him? He's a great fighter, but he's a horrible, horrible person.
Ford said, I've done it all, and if he thinks this is what's best for him, then it's good. It's more surprising how silent Tank Davis has been on this matter. Unsurprisingly, their conflict has something to do with Floyd Mayweather, which led to the beef between Davis and Ford.
So I'm sure that he ain't gonna change. He's gonna be who he is, and again, he don't bother me. I don't think 2 seconds about none of that because he's not on my level.
Mayweather and Gervonta Davis have a tumultuous relationship, and both are doing everything to get back at each other. The pair share many friends and acquaintances, including Leonard Ellard and Calvin Ford. For Floyd Mayweather Jr., he expected more loyalty from Leonard Ellard, considering how far they've come together and how Leonard Ellard only built his relationship with Davis through Mayweather. However, once Leonard Ellard tried to mediate between Floyd and Tank Davis, Floyd decided to cut him off.
Fans watching this would be like, oh, why does Leonard feel this way? Like, I've been covering the sport. I know the relationship, but they're going to be
History will tell you everything you need to know about him.
Similarly, Tank Davis expects Calvin Ford's loyalty to lie with him, having had him as his trainer since the start of his career. However, while Ford didn't sit on the fence, Davis expected more from him. To Davis, Calvin Ford shouldn't be passive or diplomatic. When Floyd Mayweather's name came up, he expected Ford to show the same level of disdain toward Mayweather that characterized Davis's own approach. Once Ford didn't do that, Davis decided to cut him off.
All right, man. Another thing I want to touch on is the Floyd situation. You know, Floyd is Floyd. That's like I say, Tank is Tank, man. But at the
Following the release of footage, Calvin Ford was forced to address the conflict between Floyd Mayweather and Gervonta Davis during a virtual interview with Fight Hub TV. Ford claimed that Mayweather should be happy to see Davis cruising to his 30th career victory in 30 fights.
day, you know, the man is chasing greatness. And you should be supporting that. I always tell you that. You should be supporting that, you know.
Sadly, it's the other way around. Ford began. I say Tank is Tank, but in the end, ...
It's a rocky road that we said what's going on. Just pay attention, man. The story's going to reveal itself. But again, that's how you burn.
He also claimed that situations like this reveal the true nature of people, and this was the case with Floyd Mayweather. He said, "It's a rocky road, but just pay attention. The story will reveal itself. That's how many people are. That's when their true colors come out."
I think he got overconfident. I think he was thinking Lamont wasn't that good. I told everybody how the fight was going to go. The fight went exactly how I said.
They can't stand it, comfortably. I don't like using that word, but our Lord knows, he concluded. As diplomatic as Calvin Ford sounded, his words caused damage to Floyd Mayweather, who wasn't having any more disrespect from Gervonta "Tank" Davis and his team. What caused the biggest chaos between Davis and Ford was Davis's last fight, which ended in a majority draw. Boxing fans hoped that a victory for WBA lightweight champion Davis would set up a future unification showdown with WBC champion Shakur Stevenson later this year, but that didn't happen. Instead, Davis was held to a controversial draw against Roach, and the main talking point came in the 9th round.
And I should have did more. I was lost in I lost track in the rounds.
Tank shocked viewers when he voluntarily opted to take a knee and retreat to his corner, but the referee chose not to count it as a knockdown. The fight went the full 12 rounds, and the judges scored it 115 to 113 for Davis and 114 to 114 twice, resulting in a majority decision draw. Roach would have won if the knockdown had been counted, but that was overlooked. The New York State Athletic Commission is now reviewing the matter, as they have the power to retroactively overturn the decision, though such a move is rare in boxing.
I didn't know what round it was. Facts.
World Boxing Association President Gilberto Mendoza has indicated that he is poised to pursue an immediate rematch between Davis and Roach. The WBA has the authority to order Davis to face Roach again, and failure to do so could result in Davis being stripped of his title. Davis also had a rematch clause in his contract with Roach, allowing him the option to trigger an immediate rematch. Both fighters have expressed their desire for a rematch on social media following the controversial bout.
When you think about this decision and it being a draw, and you think about what happened in the 9th round, how frustrated are you that that wasn't counted as a knockdown?
Just about everyone in the boxing community agrees that Tank taking a deliberate knee should have resulted in referee Steve Willis calling it a knockdown, which would have given Roach a 10-8 round. Instead, Willis didn't call it a knockdown, and Tank won the 9th round 10-9 on 2 judges' scorecards. The fight ended in a majority draw with 2 114 to 114 cards and 1 card reading, 115 to 113 in favor of Davis. Had the knee been called a knockdown, Roach Jr. would have won a split decision victory, taking Davis's WBA lightweight belt and handing him his first professional loss.
Man, I'm not. Honestly, I thought I should have won without that being counted a knockdown.
As it stands, Davis still has an undefeated record that now includes a draw. However, according to a March 3rd post on X by Roach Jr., he believes the result could be overturned. Word around the block: "J'all know I fight for 301 twice X2 division champ," Roach Jr. wrote. Roach is expected to appeal the outcome, specifically regarding the non-knockdown, and this post suggests that if he does appeal, the result could be overturned, giving him the win and Davis the loss. Of course, this could just be Roach Jr. pouring gasoline on a hot topic, but more details are sure to emerge from this developing story.
But I ain't the ref. I ain't really, you know what I'm saying? Like, if he had the white sweat out his eye, he had the white sweat out his eye. But the rules do state, if you voluntarily take a knee, then that's automatically count.
Tank went on to say that the reason he briefly took a knee was due to grease in his eyes. However, that excuse may not be accepted by boxing authorities, as Roach's recent social media post has suggested that the result of the fight may be overturned. Roach, who many believe was robbed of a shocking upset victory over Davis due to the referee's mistake in the 9th round, hinted on social media that Tank could lose his undefeated record.
After seeing this performance from Gervonta, do you believe your confidence has gone a little bit more up?
My confidence has been up. I've been knew I was the best.
What's your worst?
If Roach's post on X has any truth to it, it would be the biggest story in boxing for 2025 so far. Even though Roach would be crowned the winner, he may feel robbed of getting to enjoy that moment in the ring after taking one of the best fighters in the sport to the distance. Roach also shut down any talk of Tank knocking him out, stating, "Don't say Tank will knock me out anymore. I'm shutting that down right now." Meanwhile, Shocker Stevenson weighed in on the result, saying it went exactly how he expected, and added, "My ticket hit tonight for the people who don't know anything about boxing."
Who you got Lamont won? By how many rounds?
I don't know.
Stevenson also clarified that he wouldn't criticize Tank for his performance, despite Davis poking fun at Stevenson's victory over Josh Taylor. "I'm not even going to troll the dude like he would do me, but I'm still ready and willing with a fight. Let's make it happen," Davis said in his post-fight interview. He also mentioned his desire for an immediate rematch with Roach, meaning a potential fight with Stevenson may not happen anytime soon. Stevenson also said on X, "If Lamont can't get a rematch, I've got a big fight for him and a world title shot against me."
I'm the best at 135, man. kept trying to tell you, kept trying to be.
Good stuff, and options are there now for Roach, of course. Davis is the big money fight in the division, but if the bout had been judged correctly, Roach would have won on 2 scorecards and taken the fight via majority decision victory. Devin Haney is due to return soon in May at a huge card at Times Square, and he wasted no time putting the boot in on his rival. Gervonta "Tank" Davis had an off night this past weekend in New York, as he drew with a standout performance from Lamont Roach. After the fight, Haney said on X, "I was waiting for the backflip," adding, "Nah, but for real, that fight motivated me to get back. I'm excited for May 2nd, no doubt." Davis will likely have a reply soon, and we can expect plenty of back and forth between fighters in and around this weight class in the coming months.
Y'all still trying to say I can't do this, I can't. Okay. Hey, shouts out to the whole that whole event though. Let's start there. It was a great event.
Kessin, who recently joined Tank, Shocker Stevenson, and Vasily Lomachenko as a 135 pounds world champion by knocking out Dennis Baroni, said on Instagram Live that he had Roach winning the fight. "I feel like Lamont won. Let's start there. I feel like Lamont definitely won. A draw is what it is, but I think Lamont pulled it off. They need to run it back."
We kept trying to tell y'all, Lamont ain't that bad. Lamont, look, that shit fuck my head.
As for how he fares against either man, Kessin Davis is wildly confident of a stoppage. "I'm the best at 135 man. Either one of them, I'm knocking them out. Word, I'm telling you, give me either of them," he said. Tank has said he is open to a rematch, but it won't happen next, leading fans to believe that his next bout was already signed before Roach somewhat spoiled the party. Danny Garcia's father had an interesting take on what many believed was not the best performance from Davis. Speaking to Fight Hype after the fight, Garcia Sr. said, "Yeah, because of the pressure of life. You're an athlete, bro. A lot of pressure comes with the game. Behind the scenes, stuff people don't hear about your family. Other things I have to worry about. A million things fall on top of you. The world falls on top of you," he added. Davis has been flying high in recent years, and everyone has a bad night now and then. Hopefully, a rematch can be made, or at least a big fight, for Davis to get him motivated.
Yeah, they made the rules up as, of course, Tank the house fighter. They made the rules up. Yeah, that was bullshit. It should have been called a knockdown. You can't take a break like that. The only person that can do that is the referee.
One judge gave the nod to the champion, while the other 2 called it a draw. The fact that Tank took a knee in the 9th round, which was bizarrely not called a knockdown by referee Steve Willis, should have swung the bout in Roach's favor. Speaking to Boxing Gems, Hall of Fame fighter turned analyst Tim Bradley said, "That was unacceptable."
Ryan Garcia. Devin Haney shared a post to remind them that he is still undefeated for a reason, because
the knee was crap. They made the rules up. Tank's the house fighter. It should have been called a knockdown. You can't take a break like that. The only person that can do that is the referee. Tank basically told him, "Hey, I got something in my eye. I need to go to the corner so they can wipe it out." You don't get timeouts like that in boxing. That should have been a knockdown, period. Devin Haney's father, Bill Haney, also wasted no time in sticking it to Tank Davis, following his underperforming draw with Lamont Roach, who boxed brilliantly.
The referee can stop the action and say, "Hey, let me take you to the corner so they can wipe it out." You don't get timeouts like that in boxing, bro. So that was bullshit.
Referring to his son Devin Haney's record of 31-0, Bill Haney said, "You idiot." He also mentioned that Davis was unable to match his son's record after the draw. Roach was even moving up in weight for this fight. Davis was boxing well at times, but maybe he was moving too much and should have been more aggressive. Perhaps going for the knockout early is what's best for Tank.
Been a knockdown, period. I've already went back and I watched it. Tank lost. I watched it I watched it when I wasn't scoring.
I already went back and watched it, and Tank Davis lost, Bradley said. I wasn't scoring it the first time around. People were asking me who I thought won that round, and I was like, close or whatever, because I was on my own live. But after watching it, I can clearly say Tank lost that fight. Even without the knockdown he lost, he just didn't do enough work. Renowned commentator and broadcaster Jim Lampley, known for expert analysis over the years for HBO, shared his latest take on the Tank Roach draw. Lampley said, Stevenson is known for being the best defender in the division, and he's feared. Because of that, if I'm Tank Davis and I'm coming off a disappointing performance in terms of my offense, I'm not going straight to the best defender in the division.